It's Friday, March 4th, 2022. Here we go again. Before I start the video today, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video everywhere. Blast it all over your social media and make sure you subscribe to this channel. Without further ado, let's get right into what is happening right now. I want to recap a little bit of what happened last night. Markets began to plunge last night after Russia took over the largest nuclear power plant in Europe, located in Ukraine, and in the process started a fire. The world began to worry about a nuclear meltdown last night. We saw markets plunging. We've been assured, apparently, that there is no radiation anywhere, no signs of radiation levels rising. So that's great news, if we can believe it. But I woke up this morning, Dow Jones was down over 500 points. And with some type of miracle, they are trying to bring it back. Dow Jones about an hour ago was only down about 180 points. So from being down over 500 with the fear of a nuclear meltdown, now Russia taking over the largest nuclear power plant in Europe and one of the 10 biggest in the entire world. Markets are trying to come back, no concern. So is this the plunge protection team? Is this the Fed back in here buying? Or is it the fraudulent jobs report we got today where, what a shock, what a surprise. Jobs rose 678,000 in February and unemployment went down to 3.8%. Do you believe any of this? And when did the markets care about jobs reports? When did they care about unemployment? To me, the markets don't even care about a nuclear meltdown. All they care about is more QE and the Fed coming in and buying into these markets. They don't even care about anything else. You would think that Russia taking over one of the biggest nuclear facilities in the world, starting a fire, you think that this would have some kind of impact on these markets today. It really doesn't. Right now, as I'm filming, Dow Jones down about 350. So it's unbelievable. But while nuclear power plants are on fire, while we are looking at possibly World War III, as we are looking at continued rising inflation, a faltering economy, people are writing me and telling me how concerned they are and worried about getting toilet paper. See, this is the scary part. This is the average mentality here in America, that people, they're not worried about the economy. They're not worried about nuclear reactors melting down. They're worried about toilet paper, and that's pretty scary. What they should be worried about is, do they have enough food and water put away? Do they have barterable items put away? Can they protect themselves? This is what they should be worrying about. But this, again, the mentality of the average American is, do they have toilet paper? I think you're going to have much bigger problems here very soon, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not going to be if you have toilet paper. Let's go to CNBC here, pointing out where the jobs are. And I really am having a hard time believing any of this data. Having a hard time believing much of the numbers that we're getting now. I think the whole thing is a fraud, but what a surprise. Leisure and hospitality leads the way with about 180,000 jobs. Healthcare and human services with 94,000 jobs. Retail, 37,000. Mining and logging, only 9,000. The information sector added 0. Utilities, 0. So we're going to have a lot more low-paying, low-wage jobs out there for people to take on in service and hospitality, in healthcare and human services. Much of this just low-paying jobs here in America. And while they are working these service-type jobs, Get ready to pay a lot more in gasoline. I think I just saw oil at about $112 a barrel. It is literally going up at the pump every day. Also on CNBC, crypto has its gold moment, outperforming amid the war in Ukraine. Can it last? No, it cannot last, because last night was another example of why it is not gold. Because last night, as that nuclear plant was smoking, and we had concern of a nuclear meltdown, we saw a meltdown in cryptos. We saw a meltdown in Bitcoin last night. Bitcoin was down over $2,400 when the news of this nuclear power plant smoking last night. As soon as we got the news, Bitcoin was down 2,400, cryptos across the board plunging. Gold up right now as I make this video, $30, silver up 54 cents. So again, this is another example of why the cryptos, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I hate them, I'm against them. People write me and ask me why I hate them. I don't hate them. You can buy whatever you want to buy. You can buy into Ponzi schemes. You can go to Las Vegas today and gamble at a poker table, a roulette table, a slot machine, do whatever you want with your money. But as soon as there's trouble, just like, what was it, in 2020, when the stock market was down 20%, we saw Bitcoin go down 85%. As soon as there's talk of massive interest rates, we saw Bitcoin plunge. As soon as we hear of a nuclear facility on fire, it plunges. Gold, on the other hand, and even silver, on the other hand, have done the opposite. So again, do what your heart desires. Do what you think is right. Me, on the other hand, I'm just looking to protect the wealth that I have right now. I'm playing it very, very safe right now. I am not taking on risk. I'm not playing in Ponzi schemes. I'm not gambling. Right now, I'm staying very, very small. I'm keeping my powder very, very dry, and I am staying out from risk and speculation right now. For me right now, it's about being safe. It's not about making money right now. It's about protecting money. And I think at some point we better start counting our money or our wealth in ounces and not dollars. So be very cautious, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see some very, very big events unfold. And by the way, when that nuclear power plant was on fire last night, it supplied multiple grids in Ukraine. 3 grids went down. People had absolutely no power. If you needed to access a computer and move money, you could not do it. You could not do it. Now, if I put 5 ounces, 5 coins of gold in my pocket, I could roll out with $10,000 and go anywhere I needed to go. But you know, these people that say, well, you can't put bars of gold, you know, in your backpack, and nobody's putting bars of gold in their backpack. But if I need to put 5 ounces or 10 ounces in my pocket and get out, I can do that. And let's be realistic. Most people don't have millions of dollars in cryptos or in gold. They don't have millions of dollars invested. Most people are lucky if they just have a few $1,000s. You could put that on one gold coin. The hedge today. Food crisis imminent. Hungary bans all grain exports effective immediately. The food crisis has begun, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great day to go to the store, go buy canned food, go buy rice, grains, wheat, flour, whatever you need. Buy it now, because in a few weeks, this stuff is going to go ballistic. Those who have it are no longer giving it away, and those who don't will soon find themselves in the middle of a food crisis. Hungary, one of Europe's most grain-rich nations, banning all grain exports immediately. Wheat prices will probably double, maybe even triple in the next few weeks. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can give you any advice today, go get yourself some food today. Go get some food. Daily Mail, pain at the pump. Americans are warned to budget for $5 a gallon gasoline as oil prices surge during Russian invasion of Ukraine. U.S. national average rises to $3.61, up $1 from a year ago, according to AAA. It's unbelievable how fast things are escalating, how fast things are changing, how fast your dollar is buying less and less. And, you know, I mentioned this yesterday. So many people laughed at all of us, you, me, a year or two ago, believing that none of this could ever happen. Wow, here we are. Possible nuclear reactor power plant meltdowns, gasoline hitting $5 a gallon. Somebody wrote me last night and told me they were up in Big Bear, about an hour and a half from where I'm making this video, and gas was over $5 a gallon. You go to parts of Los Angeles, it's over $6 a gallon. So these people driving the Escalades, the Suburbans, the giant SUVs, the F-250s, the F-350s, these giant trucks, I don't know how they're going to do it. I really don't. And every day you go to the grocery store, you're witnessing the prices going up. I saw Oscar Mayer bacon last night at the grocery store, center cut at Albertsons, $12, 1 pound. And what was really amazing was while I was at this grocery store, Albertsons, in Palm Desert, I could not believe how empty many of the shelves were, especially in the frozen section. Really, really wiped out noticeably. I've never seen it like this before, but especially in the frozen department, wiped out. Other areas of the store, wiped out. Never seen it this bad. So something definitely going on. The average amount in U.S. savings accounts, this is on bankrate.com. And let's remember, 60% of this country does not have $1,000 saved up, but it says here, medium account balance per household sits at about $5,300. And remember all the free money people got. This is staggering for what we're heading into, ladies and gentlemen. And the average household has $5,300 to deal with the inflation that is now here and is about to get worse. 35 years or younger, that household only has $3,200. 35 to 44, the average household has $4,700 in their bank account. But again, 60% of Americans have less than $1,000. And this is very concerning as we head into the worst economy I've ever seen, as we head into a depression now. No doubt about it. The depression has begun. And people are not prepared. This money is going to be eaten up. And let's not forget how much of this money is money that people received during the stimulus period, during the benefit period. This would look a lot worse if they did not receive the free money. But they're all going to pay for it because this has caused, all this free money now has caused massive inflation. And we're now going to see more supply disruptions, food shortages, gas prices soaring, and people are now prepared because their savings and checking accounts are being eaten alive by this inflation. America's biggest new mansion auctions for $141 million. This was the house in Beverly Hills called The One, originally asking $500 million. Now, a lot of legalities came up. It went into receivership. It was a big mess. But I bring this up because a house that they thought they could get $500 million got $141 million. And this is another telltale sign of what is going to happen in the real estate market. Prices are going to come down. We are going to see reality come to the housing market. We're going to see the worst housing crash in U.S. history. It's coming. And I don't have the day. I don't know if it's going to happen this year or next year, but I think, in my humble opinion, we are going to begin to see the crash start this year, somewhere in the summer, maybe late summer. But all this new inventory, all this new construction is going to hit the market. And guess what? Rates are going up. Inflation is going up. The cost of living is going up. The cost to borrow money is going up. And this is going to be a bad combination. And inventory is going to go way up. And this means prices are going to have to come down. So I'm going to wrap it up with this last article coming from The Hedge titled, Russian Firms Rush to Open Accounts at Chinese Banks. Hundreds of Russian companies are now opening bank accounts in China. We're going to see more countries begin to do this as we begin to see more countries dump US dollars and go to other currencies, maybe like the yuan. We're going to see this happen. And my concern is we are making this happen where Russia is befriending China, going to go around the dollar, do business. And you look at Asia, it's going to be the biggest economy in the entire world. Asia's going to buy more than anybody in the world. They're going to buy more food. They're going to buy more electronics. They're going to buy more cheap goods. And America is aging. It's dying out. And so is the US dollar. And I truly believe the future of this country is dying down. And I hate to say this, but the torch is being passed on. And we're not going to be in this club. Asia is going to continue to grow at a record pace. Russia knows it. China knows it. And we're going to get cut out. They're going to cut the US dollar out. They're going to cut banks out. You look at the biggest banks in the world, where are they at? They're in China. You look at the biggest gold reserves, where are they at? They're in China, they're in Russia. And they've been working on this for years. This didn't just happen last week. China, Russia, and other countries have been working on this for years. They want to get around the dollar. They don't want to be enslaved to the dollar. And I think that what's happening right now and what we're doing with these sanctions is going to motivate Russia and China to do this, and it's going to motivate other countries to follow. It's going to motivate other countries to dump dollars and look at new alternatives. And gold is going to be one of those alternatives. Currencies backed by gold is going to be an alternative. We've been hearing about the yuan being backed by gold for years now. Could it happen? Yeah, it could happen. But what we must realize is that when this happens, and it's going to happen, the standard of living in America is going to crash. And people who think that America can't go to a third world country, well, you haven't been to LA lately. You haven't been to San Diego lately. You haven't been to San Bernardino lately. You haven't been through many of the cities in America, which already are third world. We are the biggest debtor nation on planet Earth. We are the biggest consumers on planet Earth, meaning we're buying things as consumers with money we don't have. And we're buying things from other countries, making these countries wealthier and more powerful. And we're going to continue to do this. And this will be the demise of America, unfortunately. Financially, we are crumbling. We are on our last leg. And if we don't have a miracle here very, very quickly, kiss it goodbye. And this is why I recommend, and I don't give financial advice, this is why I recommend that you have gold, you have silver, you have your debts paid off, that you hold real things. If you can buy a piece of land right now cheap, buy it. But sales are coming, ladies and gentlemen, and if you position yourself correctly, you're going to take part of these sales. And I'm sure China will be here buying it all up. I'm sure that some of these large institutions and hedge funds and the BlackRocks and the Blackstones will be buying it up. It's going to be a different world. It's going to be a new world, ladies and gentlemen. And most people in the new world are going to be debt slaves. Do whatever you can right now to avoid being a debt slave. Get yourself some hard assets. Get the debts paid off. And position yourself to take advantage of the sale. Most people are going to lose. Very few will win. The smart money knows what's coming. The question is, are you the dumb money or are you the smart money? Get ready, because the new world is here.